everybody. How are you doing out there in TV land tonight? It's your boy DC, and you can see in the moniker below. It's Out of the Fog, a Local Matters bop where we go across the province, hanging out with all the cool people doing all the cool things. I'm so excited to have a couple of guests on tonight. Leslie Ann Corrigan and Wooden Walls Distilling. They're the hot bop down on the harbor front. They're opening up so soon. They're already teasing it out and getting everybody hyped and excited, showing off all the cool things. She's coming by pre-recorded, and we're going to catch up and talk about the future of this amazing small biz. And then we have English and Francophone singer-songwriter Adrian House. He's going to sing 2 songs tonight. The first one up, here you have it. This is Out of the Fog, and we're going to catch up with him in the interview right after the break. Until then, enjoy the show.
Je suis un cul-de-sac, je gaspille tout mon temps. Je suis un carrousel, la vie me fait tourner en rond. Je n'attrape jamais toutes les choses que je veux aimer. Je prends tout ce que je peux prendre, mais c'est jamais assez. Je cherche partout dans les rues et les bars, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Peut-être le bonhomme arriverait par hasard, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part, nulle part. Je suis trop impatient, je n'attends jamais mon tour. Mais je me sens délaissé, après les autres je cours. Mes amis m'énervent trop, sont contents dans leur misère. Mais leur silence me dit qu'il ne faut jamais se taire. Je cherche partout dans les rues et les bars, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Peut-être le bonhomme arriverait par hasard, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Je joue de la guitare, je veux être une star, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. J'essaie de savoir tout ce qu'il y a à savoir, mais c'est drôle de savoir que je suis nulle part, nulle part. J'ai perdu mon GPS, à l'aide, mon Google Maps est en détresse, à l'aide, y a pas de carte là où je vais. Je vais arriver pareil. Je suis un cul-de-sac, je gaspille tout mon temps. Je suis un carrousel, la vie me fait tourner en rond. Tout le monde avance, mais il faut que je me refasse. Ils ont des destinations, mais moi je reste sur place. Je cherche partout dans les rues et les bars, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Peut-être le bonhomme arriverait par hasard, mais je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Je veux faire un road trip, mais je n'ai pas de char, et je sais que right now je ne vais nulle part. Je veux pogner le train, mais je suis pogné dans la gare, mais je sais qu'un jour je serai quelque part, quelque part.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog. It's your boy DC, and I love when I get to have old friends swing by for a few songs and a few what-do-you-ats. Adrian, what-do-you-at?
This is it, bud?
Yeah?
How about you?
Well, you know you're watching a Newfoundland television show now, don't you? I mean, really.
Exactly, right? Yep.
But now you lived away for a while.
I did, yeah.
Seems like yesterday.
Yeah, man, that was a long time ago now. Yeah, Toronto, 98 to 2005. So I've been back for quite a while now.
This is the hot tub time machine that we live in, isn't it? Where like you see people and you realize it has not been just yesterday.
Exactly.
But you look better than ever, man, may I say.
Sweet, yourself
right?
as well?
Well, thank you so much. You know,
Yeah.
this whole thing here, I don't know. I want to talk about music because it's a common bond that we share.
Yeah.
From coming up with the ideas, writing, performing. I mean, it's its own adventure in confidence and daring greatly, is it not?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. It's one of those things that sometimes I think, why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? Because it is really a lot of work that I think people don't see, you know? Like if you just hear a song, you don't know all the endless and countless hours that's gone on to make that song, to write it, to produce it, to promote it, and all that stuff. And sometimes I'm like, oh my God, it's so much work, but of course it's also amazing, you know? We wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't something that we absolutely loved and that we were passionate about.
I think if you're out there and you are not an artist who works in the craft of creation, like writing, performing, maybe it is easy for folks to not appreciate how much effort and emotional labor, which is a subject unto itself if you're out there in the leadership world or the working world for that matter. Emotional labor is at the front row center of being a musician, and I don't think we realize that.
I think you're right, actually, because, yeah, for me, at least in my music, I try to be authentic. I try to express, like, my feelings, you know, the things that are going on inside me. So that's a big challenge, but I think it also, I feel like it's what I need to do in my art, you know? I feel like I can't fake it. I need to try to express like who I am in some way. You know, it's not exactly me, but just having that honesty of expression, I think is super important for me in my art. And yeah, it does take some guts sometimes, and it's great when people, you know, appreciate it, and sometimes they don't, and that's okay too.
For sure. But I mean, either way, are we doing it for them? Are we doing it for us? Maybe
Right.
both. Maybe both is true. Right?
Yeah. Well, what did James Brown say? He said, I'm not just singing this for myself now. I'm singing it for you too. Right?
And then you go, ha!
Yeah. And then you do the splits, which I'm not going to
Exactly.
try on.
Well, I thought that was your showstopper. Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
We'll
no, I
see.
get it. And it's interesting, right? Because the whole subject of creation, and it has to come out, as you say. And so I ask, like, how do the songs, and what is your process? How do they come out? Does it happen quick, slow? What's the method? Is there any?
Well, when I first started writing songs, the method was always a melody would pop into my head, either just spontaneously or, you know, sitting down with the guitar. I'd write a melody and then I'd throw some words on it, usually of the self-pitying variety. And, you know, sometimes some love songs, and sometimes I'd make up a character and sing about that. And then a few years ago, I did a workshop in songwriting, which I had never done before, in French. So, you know, I was starting to get more and more involved in the French community. And so this workshop, we really started with the texts. So we started just like brainstorming some ideas, and then we developed the ideas, and maybe like give yourself a challenge of, you know, okay, this line's gonna have 7 syllables, the next one's gonna have 9, and stuff like that, you know? And that was a cool change for me, actually, just to start songwriting with just words, coming up with an idea, and then I found it's a bit more of a literary approach. Like, I feel like my songwriting has gotten a little bit more poetic, a bit more artsy, I suppose. And then from there, it's fun to just take some words and be like, what's the melody that I can throw on this? And how a certain melody gets thrown onto a certain type of lyric, I don't know yet. That just kind of happens when I sit down at the piano or with the guitar. And yeah, but it's a pretty fun process, for sure.
And it must be different every time.
It is. Yeah, it is different every time. Especially depending on the subject matter, the vibe of the song. Yeah, I mean, the one that that I'm doing here, Changes, that one is like obviously really positive and upbeat. So that's, you know, definitely. I think I was in England when that melody just popped into my mind. I have a lot of relatives there, so I was there a few years ago. I was just like hiking in the hills, and then I had this this like melody that just lodged itself in my brain. And you know how it is sometimes when you got to record it, right?
Infectious.
Yeah, or else you don't remember it. And so that one obviously lent itself to like a really positive and happy message about like just rising above the changes of life and celebrating every day and all that kind of stuff. Except the other song there, which is Nulle Part, the French one, it had a much more moody vibe, and that one did kind of start with a melody as well, actually. But it was like just a more moody vibe about feeling a bit lost in life, not knowing where you're going, and yeah, so. You know, it really depends, I think, on the type of melody in terms of, you know, the type of lyrics and vice versa.
Which I find is interesting, you know, to have friends of mine who are singer-songwriters, and I can relate to this as well. It's like, you know, when you wrote a song when you were sad, and then all of a sudden you're in a different state of mind, but that song has become known by the people who love to come see you play. It's a very interesting exercise to sell a mood or a moment in time that you're no longer, or not at least at the moment, feeling.
Right.
And then to sell that is the performance side of being a writer.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about your delve into the world of French and the French community. As a singer-songwriter in English, what was that like to gain an interest and an immersion into songwriting and performance in another language? Very cool.
Yeah, pretty wild, really.
Yeah.
It was kind of a gradual thing, you know? It wasn't just like one day I was like, I'm gonna be a francophone artist.
Pretty bold if you did.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
I feel like I started listening to more French music probably around 2015 or something like that. And then I put out an album in 2016 called Love a Man, which had my first French song on it called Don Quichotte. So after that, I started to get a bit more involved in the community. I played on the Franco stage at the NL Folk Fest. I started doing improv in French, so that was really big for my language skills. I had a francophone roommate, so that was, you know, throwing yourself definitely out of your comfort zone and forcing yourself to be spontaneous.
Oh yeah.
And I think that really helped me develop my language skills. And then I just through things like that, you just end up meeting more people, getting involved in more events. Then I got asked to do more gigs with the community. And yeah, and then eventually I did that writing workshop that I was telling you about, and that was just kind of like, it was just such an amazing workshop. And the guy who gave it, he really liked some of the songs I wrote, and he was like, oh, you know, these are really good. You should apply for the Festival International de Granby, which is this like big song festival in Quebec. So I applied for that, and I made it. I auditioned, so then I went up to Quebec, and I ended up performing in the semifinals of that.
Where can folks get at you to listen to, stream, download, and support your music, my man?
Yes. Well, number one would be my website, which is just my name, adrianhouse.com.
Boom.
And if you sign up for my newsletter on there, you get a free download of the song Babette.
Love it.
Which is the French song from my last album, Looking Up, back in 2019.
Right.
So that would be the number one. I also have a very active Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/houseadrian. Sometimes I'm on Instagram, but not very often. I'm not good at juggling the social media, so mainly my website and the Facebook are the two that I really keep up with.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and talking about music and the making of it. Will you come back?
Yes, definitely. It would
Sounds
be
good.
my absolute pleasure.
Oh
Thanks
my
for
God.
having me, Donnie.
Oh, likewise, man. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
But Adrian House, download the music, get involved, follow this francophone artist. He might sing in English for you too sometimes, but don't ask him too many times. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog, and I'm so excited to be hanging out with Leslie Ann from Wooden Walls Distilling. It is that exciting new bop in the downtown on the Harborfront West that you have got to check out to believe, and I couldn't wait. I said I'm going to have her right on the couch now and talk about all the things. Leslie, how are you doing?
I'm wonderful, thanks. How are you?
So great.
Oh, good.
I've got the fashion memo.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're matching. We didn't plan this,
No big
but
deal.
it's serendipity.
This is what's happening here.
That's right.
So I would love to have everybody watching the show know that you, working in hospitality in so many facets over the years, has positioned you very well for where you are today. I would love you to tell me your story.
Oh, well, I actually haven't worked in hospitality in many, many years. I was actually in media most recently, but before that I did for a few years work down on George Street. So it definitely did prepare me. I always say that it was the best university. I did go to university for 4 or 5 years, but I learned way more working on George Street, I think. So I am excited to kind of bring it all full circle and take what I've known and into this new role and this new place. It's just a great place.
Well, I can't wait to hear more about it. I mean, I would like for you to tell me, where did the idea come from?
Well, the idea came from, it's a long time kind of coming to fruition. Chris Dowden and Pete Madden, two friends who have a shared passion for spirits and whiskey and rums and all kinds of great things, and also craft industry. They kind of got together and said many years ago, wouldn't you love to have a distillery? We should open a distillery. And here we are 6 long years later.
Unreal.
It's been a long process, but it's been worth it. I think when things get delayed, obviously the pandemic delayed things,
Sure.
and just, you know, unforeseen and should have been foreseen circumstances, all of that. Kind of, it enables you to take a step back at a few times during the process and sort of appreciate how far you've come. Now, I've been involved with these guys for over a year, and we're only now just opening. So I've even had a chance to kind of take stock of everything, and finally now, it gives you that more excitement, I think.
I think that anyone who dares to start a business, especially when it comes to the hospitality industry of, you know, entertainment and food and drink, it's in our culture, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It is, and just like taking care of people and appreciating. And there's a whole new movement that's, you know, sweeping this place. It's almost like the movement isn't new, it's the recognition that things that come from here and are made here have a special sort of quality to them that we need to appreciate and share. That's really what Wooden Walls is all about. You know, we make spirits. We make really, really good spirits. And these guys, Chris and Pete, have put out an awful lot of effort and research into making the best spirit that they can. But there are so many other people who do wonderful, amazing things in this city and province and even Atlantic Canada. We're bringing them together, and we're sort of that connecting force. So we have food service, but it's based on other places who do food really well. And we have, you know, we're using grain from PEI, and we've connected with them through people who supply grain for other breweries and distilleries. So they really know what they're doing. So we're really privileged to be able to sort of be that connector.
Do you agree that, you know, no one gets anywhere on their own, and a rising tide truly does lift all boats?
I definitely do. And I think Newfoundland, you know, we have that lobster on the wharf kind of thing we've all heard. I don't feel that. We're a new business in the hospitality industry, and one could say that it's a pretty flooded industry right now, but I don't feel that. I feel very welcome. I mean, people are doing such wonderful things, and we're just bringing the spirits, you know, so it's a privilege, really, and people are excited to have us along with them.
It sounds like a very unique business model. And here, you know, on our beautiful harbor front that we see right behind us, and you're just...
We're just, here we are right there.
Yeah, right.
So just up from the Murray premises across from Gahan House, we're in a beautiful neighborhood. We've got Iceberg Quest Tours as our neighbor. I mean, it's, and that's another thing, like not just craft producers, we're excited to partner with places in our neighborhoods to offer experiences. And you see more of that in this industry, and it's cool to be a part of it, for sure.
I'll tell you what, and I love that you're calling it a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because the downtown, historic, incredible, the location that you're in is one of the oldest spots in the downtown.
Didn't burn in 1892.
See,
so,
that's
yeah.
very interesting.
It is.
And that's part of the story and the intrigue and the interest that will draw people into that space. It's truly that. And it is a neighborhood, isn't it?
It is, yeah, for sure. And it's a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, the Murray premises is there, and you know, it's one of the nicer areas. There's no fence in the harbor. You can walk down on the harbor front.
True that.
It's beautiful there. Yeah, absolutely. We love
I said
it.
we're pretty lucky to have someone as you who, as we discuss, yes, hospitality, but also in media, in relationships,
Yeah.
in industry. I mean,
It's
you know, it's the dogs, girl.
Yeah, I do know the dogs. It's so funny. And it's actually, you know, I come from hunting and fishing background. I worked
That's
at the
right.
Newfoundland Sportsman for years. So, you know, I've even brought that whole world into this. So we're going to have game on our menu. I'm going to connect with local foragers. I'm super excited about that. So a lot of the things on our menu, you know, instead of olives, Sean Dawson from Barking Kettle is going to make me sort of an olive-esque thing out of seaweed, and that's
No
going to be in our
way.
martinis. And so all of these things, and it's exciting to bring together and to, you know, be a part of all of these things that are going on. It's great.
I'll tell you what, I'm super excited to go and check it out. Just say I walk in. What am I going to expect?
So it's very much a cozy space, low ceilings, dark floors, lots of wood, wooden walls. So, you know, it's a cozy sort of speakeasy place, but it's got the most massive bar. I think this is our claim to fame. But our bar sort of shapes our logo. People should look us up and find our logo online. But it's the sails of a ship, and that connects to our name and everything. But the bar sort of mimics that as well. So we've got these pods. Our bartenders, mixologists, they're, you know, well versed in what they do. They're in these little pods. You can gather around, and they'll educate you on the ingredients they're using, how to build this cocktail, what they're doing. We've got a really great temperance cocktail program as well. So if you choose not to drink alcohol, we've got a beautiful spirit-free selection of cocktails. No compromise in a mocktail at Wooden Walls for sure. And you know, it's about the experience. It really is, and it's about experiencing the foods that's from here, the cocktail ingredients that are from here, and doing it yourself. You know, take it with you. Go home. Wooden Walls experience can be enjoyed everywhere.
Now, Leslie Ann, I know, like, you know, working inside of it flat out as you do and out in the streets promoting it, but will you be my date to my first experience?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
I can't wait.
I cannot wait. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to make a cocktail. And that's the thing, like the guys behind the bar, the ladies that are working with us, they're up for anything. So if I say, oh, Donnie's coming, let's make him a special cocktail, and they'll make something just for you.
That's amazing. I'm not going to forget you said that.
No, well, definitely.
Wooden Walls Distilling, downtown, in the neighborhood. Please go online, check out the social media, and follow their story as they evolve, and book a night for yourself in those wooden walls. This is Out of the Fog. We'll be right back after this break. Well, guys, what can I tell you? Another wicked show in the can up in here with all the volunteers and the staff and everyone who makes these Out of the Fog shows come together so nice. Thank you, Leslie Ann, for coming by. Wooden Walls Distilling. Can't wait for you to check it out. And of course, Adrian House. He's the man. Check him out in English and in French. One more song to close out the show. This is Changes. This was Out of the Fog. And we'll see you next time.
I've got a rhythm in my mind. It's like a beat inside of my soul, and it's with me all of the time. I feel it everywhere I go. When I'm walking down the street, I smile at everyone I see. Every person that I meet is like a miracle to me. Whoa, whoa. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know that I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a load of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. I had a hole inside of my heart, just as big as it could be. Yeah, my world was torn apart that day that he walked out on me. But now I hold my head up high when I'm walking through my town, and I'm reaching for the sky. I won't let nothing bring me down. know, and I know, and I know, and I know that I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a load of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. I know there's a ribbon for me at the end of the road. I know there's a ribbon for me. I got a rhythm in my mind. It's like a beat inside of my soul, and it's with me all of the time. I feel it everywhere I go. When I'm walking down the street, I smile at everyone I see. Every person that I meet is like a miracle to me. Whoa, whoa. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know that I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a load of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Boy, get a hold of yourself. I get through all of these changes. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. La-la-la-la-la-la-la. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
It isn't the heavy trays that make the job difficult, or the fast pace you need to keep up. It's not working another